Wrong. Caller number 2. Disco is...
Heaven?
Sitcoms are supposed to make you laugh, not leave you emotionally wrecked. But every now and then your favorite comfort show decides to trade punchlines for pain. One minute it's hugs and catchphrases, the next someone's facing addiction, abuse, or the literal end of the world. Yep, we're talking about the infamous, very special episodes. The ones that made you stare at your TV and ask, wait, did they just do that on Full House? So grab your remote, a box of tissues, and maybe your therapist's number, because today we are counting down 10 times sitcoms got way too dark.
Heaven?
You people are way off. Caller number 3, you're on.
Disco is hell?
Let's start with one that blurred the line between fiction and tragedy. In December 1979, 11 people were crushed to death at a concert by The Who in Cincinnati. A few months later, WKRP in Cincinnati, a comedy about a goofy radio station, aired in concert. In the episode, the station's DJs are devastated when fans die at an event they helped promote. They confront their own guilt and push for safer concert policies. It wasn't funny, it wasn't meant to be, but it did spark national discussions about festival seating and crowd safety. Leave it to a sitcom to turn rock radio hijinks into a PSA about mass casualty prevention.
Walter, what time is it?
6:45.
Oh.
What's so important what time it is?
Carol isn't here. Dinner is...
Norman Lear was the king of mixing laughs with controversy, and Maude was his crown jewel. In Maude's Dilemma, B. Arthur's character discovers she's pregnant at 47. After agonizing discussions, she decides to have an abortion, a year before Roe v. Wade. Stations in the South refused to air it. Sponsors threatened boycotts, but CBS stood by the episode, making it one of the first primetime portrayals of abortion. It was gutsy, progressive, and deeply uncomfortable for 1972 viewers. So the next time you think TV was simpler back then, remember, America once debated reproductive rights through a sitcom laugh track.
Gee, that's big of you, Earl.
And I guess I owe the rest of you an apology too. You know, for...
You thought Game of Thrones had a dark finale? Try Dinosaurs. For 4 seasons, this puppet family charmed audiences with catchphrases like, "Not the mama." Then in the final episode, the Sinclairs cause an environmental catastrophe that wipes out all plant life. Cold weather rolls in, the sky darkens, and the family gathers to accept their fate. They literally go extinct on network TV during family hour programming. Kids expecting cute dino jokes instead got a grim lecture on climate collapse. The credits roll as snow buries the house. ABC basically said, the end, forever.
I'll scratch yours.
You keep coming up with these presents, you can scratch me all over.
From catchy catchphrases to childhood nightmares. In the 2-part episode The Bicycle Man, Arnold and Dudley befriend a bike shop owner named Mr. Horton. He lures them with candy, wine, and porn magazines. And yes, it goes exactly where you think it's going. Arnold eventually tells his dad, the police arrest Horton, and everyone learns about stranger danger. It was meant as an educational episode, but millions of kids just ended up terrified of anyone who owned a Schwinn. Let's be real, this wasn't just very special, it was traumatizingly special. Norman
The way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade.
Guys.
Lear strikes again, this time pure horror. While Archie and the gang plan a surprise birthday party, Edith stays home and is attacked by a man posing as a detective. She fights him off with a burning cake and flees just as her friends yell, "Surprise!" That's right, her attempt at rape is literally followed up by a laugh track. It was the first American sitcom to show such violence on screen, and yet All in the Family handled it with a rare empathy. Edith wasn't reduced to trauma porn, she was a survivor. Still, you've got to wonder how audiences recovered from that emotional whiplash. Okay, deep breath. If you've made it this far without curling into the fetal position, props to you. This is your moment to hit subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and tell YouTube's algorithm you love emotional damage with your nostalgia. Because we're just getting to the big ones. gun violence, eating disorders, and one of the most overacted caffeine breakdowns in TV history.
He loves your tape,
All right!
but they like 3 other girl groups too.
We all know this one. Jessie Spano, the overachiever of Bayside High, turns to caffeine pills to keep up with school and her band. But when she starts spiraling, we get one of the most iconic meltdowns in television. I'm so excited, I'm so scared. The original script had Jessie addicted to speed, but NBC watered it down. So instead of meth, we got a girl crying over no-dose. Still, it became legendary, half meme, half cautionary tale. If you've ever pulled an all-nighter before finals, you've lived a live version of Jessie's song. Just maybe with less jazz hands.
With anyone, I'm fair, I'm honest, I'm giving.
TGIF turned into a tear fest when Stephanie Tanner discovered her classmate was being abused by his dad. He begged her to keep it secret, but Uncle Jesse convinced her that speaking up was the brave thing to do. By the end, the kid thanks her for saving him, and millions of viewers had their hearts ripped out right before the credits rolled. ABC even added a child abuse hotline afterward. It's wild to think that the same show that gave us "You Got It Dude" also gave us mandatory therapy.
All right, come to Papa. All right. Work the camera, honey. Work the camera.
Yep, full house again, because apparently the Tanner family was cursed with emotional turbulence. In Shape Up, DJ Tanner stops eating so she can look good in a swimsuit. She faints, collapses, and ends up confessing her body image issues to Aunt Becky. For a show built on hugs and punchlines, it got heavy, but it's one of the first network sitcoms to address anorexia in teens. And credit where it's due, Candace Cameron nailed the vulnerability. After that episode, no one looked at pool parties or Aunt Becky's salads quite the same.
Those kids out.
These kids are car thieves.
And you have made a big mistake.
Will Smith spent most of the 90s making us laugh, but this episode made everyone stop. When Will is shot during a robbery, Carlton buys a gun to protect himself. Will, racked with guilt, begs him to throw it away. "I saved your life, you owe me." "No, Carlton, you owe yourself." The episode ends in silence. No laughter, no music. It's one of the most powerful moments in sitcom history, and proved that the Fresh Prince could switch from comedy to raw emotion in a heartbeat. If you ever doubted Will Smith's acting chops, this episode shut you up fast.
Are you almost finished? My dad's probably home by now. I really should be going.
How can I finish when you keep...
And at number 1, the darkest of them all. In The Hitchhikers, Arnold and Kimberly accept a ride from a friendly stranger who turns out to be a predator. He kidnaps them, locks them up, and plans to assault Kimberly. Arnold escapes and saves her, but the audience, they were scarred for life. This wasn't just a very special episode, it was TV's descent into darkness. It aired in prime time, sandwiched between lighthearted comedies. Parents were shocked, networks defended it as educational, and Different Strokes cemented itself as the show that went way too far twice. So there you have it. 10 times a comfort food sitcom served as a horror movie course. From caffeine to climate change, these very special episodes proved that even laugh tracks can't drown out real-world pain. They were awkward, preachy, and sometimes downright traumatizing, but they started conversations TV wasn't brave enough to have before. If you love deep dives into retro chaos, dark comedy, and the weird side of pop culture, smash that subscribe button. Drop a comment on which episode scarred you for life, and remember, it's okay to laugh, just maybe keep your therapist on speed dial.